YouTube, what's up guys? Good morning. Today I wanted to do kind of a run through on EZDrummer and how I use it to put together songs. Now, I say how I use it to put together songs as if I've been using it for a long time, which I definitely haven't. I've only been using it for about 4 or 5 days. Before I do that, I wanted to give you guys a little bit of backstory, just so you guys can kind of see where or why this video would have any value. When I started making YouTube videos about, I don't know, 2 or 3 months ago, I don't even remember now, but it was the first time that I had purchased a desktop computer. It was the first time that I purchased an audio interface, and it was the first time that I purchased recording software, let alone plugins and all the other odds and ends that come along with trying to write, music through a digital audio workstation. So all the videos that I put out are typically going to have some sort of disclaimer either in the beginning of the video or in the title saying, short overview or quick look at or something like that, because I don't consider anything I do particularly advanced or in-depth, because I personally don't know how to do those things. So the reason I feel that these videos have value and the reason I'm kind of making them is because you're getting everything from the perspective of somebody who is a beginner. I'm going to show you guys how I use EZDrummer, and you're going to see this from the approach of a person who just started using it 4 or 5 days ago. You might be that guy. You might have just gotten EZDrummer and now you're sitting around wondering, how do I program drums? Because when I first started watching people program drums, it seemed like a really intimidating thing. A lot of words get thrown around, like sending things out of the DAW and routing them back in, using MIDI tracks and all these things that I don't know how to use. I mean, I didn't really know exactly how to even use the drum editor when I first started trying to program drums. So yeah, just wanted to let you guys know where I'm coming from in these videos, and let's get into this one. Okay, so if you guys see here, I already have a song up. The one I'm going to use as an example is the song that I had in my previous video in the beginning, which is one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to have this this plugin, and why it's so useful to me now, because at the beginning of any YouTube video, if I'm kind of showing off a product or running through a product, I want to kind of show it, how it could be used, or how I use it anyway. So you kind of come up with a song and kind of stick a little playthrough at the beginning of the video. And this is just, before I was using covers, but there's only so far you can get with using other people's music to show off certain things or to do things. You're gonna have to write your own. So this is amazing for helping you write your own music for whatever it may be. So if you guys look here, this is the overview of the drum kit when you first kind of open up EZDrummer. So I got EZDrummer 2, and there's some sort of a holiday sale going on right now with EZDrummer that you get 2 metal expansion packs with it. One of them is Metal and the other one is Metal Machine. I think Metal Machine is the older one, Metal's newer, and I think they just come out with Metal Destruction, but I don't really think I needed it. So I stuck with these 2, and they're really good. So if you kind of go up here, what I first sort of did, here, let me get rid of this because I don't know why that's in there. Let's remove that. If you just come over here to search, now I wasn't really sure where I was going to go with this song. I was just kind of starting fresh, so I just kind of started looking through different tempos. Right here there's a tempo tab, and I knew I wanted something just heavy, something that sounded good, but I didn't know what, and I didn't even have a riff idea in mind. And then I kind of came across this right here. And I thought, well, that sounds pretty cool. It sounds pretty metal. So I just decided to, it's pretty straightforward. So coming up with a riff for that was really easy. So I'll just solo, these tracks right here, and it turned into this. Which, by the way, is running, what am I doing? Which, by the way, is running the Fortin, I was going to pull it up, but whatever. Yeah, I'm running the Fortin Nameless suite on all these tracks. So all the tracks except for the lead. So obviously, pretty straightforward. Didn't take long to come up with that riff, but now I had the beginning of a song, right? So when you open this up and you have this drum kit, yeah, it's great. It's all great and good. You got these, you can test everything out, but it's not like you're going to manually put these in. So what you do is you just go over here to search, come up with a big library, and you have a whole bunch of different sections here that'll help you narrow down your search. Now, when I started this, I wanted to start with, just start fresh. I didn't have anything in mind, so I didn't want to narrow anything down yet. So I just kind of started scrolling down, going through tempos. And when I found that I liked the ones that were in the 150 beat per minute, I came up here to tempo and just kind of narrowed it down to 150 and started looking through them, and that's how I came upon that pretty quick. And that pretty much set the tone for writing the rest of the song. So right afterwards, I figured, well, I have a slow tempo thing, so let's come up with a fast tempo thing. And I started looking through here, and I found this. Let me make sure that these are off. And then I found this right here. Give me a second. Right, so it's basically double time from the beginning. And I wanted to intro that somehow and kind of create a break between the beginning and that verse. And so I just kind of completely took out all of the kick drums out of it, and I'll show you how to do that in a second. And it sounds like this, which with the guitars in play, let's see here, ends up sounding like this. One guitar ringing out, one guitar bringing the verse in, and then just sliding in. And the way I ended up finding this riff is I just kind of took that drum idea, right, and stuck it in here. And this thing is awesome because when you drag it into this box, you just go down here, playhead's here, right, and click play. That's it. And then now you have a looping drum section that you can riff over until you find something you like. So I just kind of kept going with it. And I'm always around here. I love these this typical sound with this. I love that. So right? So I came up with that, and then I just put that in there. I kept the riff for the verse the same throughout that whole verse section, and then I ended up coming up to a chorus, right? I had an intro to a verse, and then here. Oops. Get rid of that, remove. There we go. Slow it back down, give it some halftime. I hate those snare hits that are in that chorus. If you guys listen to it, I couldn't get them out. I couldn't get those snare hits out. But to show you guys how I kind of embellished some of these drum parts, if you guys take what you can basically drag anything from here. So if you have this, like the beginning, it doesn't necessarily have to sound that way. If you drag it down here to this little box here, then yeah, I'm gonna get like second grade terms here. This little box here at the bottom. When you just drag it down there, you can hit play here, right? And when you hit play on that, go ahead and click here. And it gives you the overview of what's being hit during these drum parts, the drums that are actually lit up. So if you want more snare, you would just click on the snare head and then just go ahead and click play, and then you're gonna click amount, plus to add more snare hits while it's playing. So that would sound like this. Right? And if you guys want, let's say you guys wanted more kick, just do the same thing. Right? And if you guys just want all out madness, right? You guys just want the drum kit doing crazy stuff, just click all playing drums and let it go. Go up. Turns into some drum craziness. Right? So that's just give you an idea of how you can use, just that specific section, but obviously you don't want anything sounding too crazy. And so that's how I ended up, kind of coming up with a lot of these guitar parts, was just sticking the drums in there and then riffing around that idea until I came up with something that I liked. Coming up to the middle here, I just knew that I needed something to separate this from these, I don't know what you would call it, maybe the interlude or whatever that center section would be. So I came up with a small guitar line by itself and then stuck it before it, and then just wrote another metal part around a drum part. So. And again, the way I found that drum part is I went through, I searched, I found something, I stuck it into, this looper, And then I just kind of added and subtracted drum hits and things like that until I felt that it was what I wanted. And once I felt that it was what I wanted, I just looped it and then I played over it until I found something that I liked, and then I tracked it and moved on. So, I mean, really quick process for writing an overall song for something. Let me go back in here. So then I just kept the chorus going, wrote a lead over it, and at the end of it, just brought it back to the beginning. So yeah, really, really simple to use. And I don't know too much about this. I'm sure there's way more that you can do. I mean, you come up on this, individual volume mixer so that you can kind of mix in your drums, what you want louder, what you want quieter. I didn't do any of that. If you guys, I'll link the previous video in the description, and in the beginning of it, you'll hear the song. I didn't mix virtually anything. I don't know how to mix. So I promise you, there's no trickery here. I didn't do anything with it that would by any means be professional or be something that somebody who knows what they're doing would do. So that's it. That's what I do to write music right now. EZDrummer is a really, really easy thing to work with. I think it's awesome. It's a great tool, and I recommend it. If you guys are out there and you're kind of not sure how you're going to go about recording drums, and you think that you're going to have to sit in a drum editor forever trying to create your own drums, it's not like that anymore. With EZDrummer and just with at least, you can just take whatever EZDrummer comes with. You don't even need a metal expansion. You can create really, really cool drum parts for your music without really having to do anything. So yeah, I hope you guys learned something from this. If you guys are just starting out, you guys are trying to figure out how to run your drums, I hope that you guys took something away from this video. And if you guys have any questions or anything, stick them in those comments below. I'll do the best I can to answer them. Or if you guys have any tips, I'm sure there's some people out there that are watching this that know exactly what they're doing, and they're wondering, why didn't you click on this? Why aren't you clicking on that? You could do this and it'll sound way better. Let me know. I'm all ears, believe me. I'm trying to learn as much as I possibly can. So thank you guys for watching. As always, please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell for me, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.